hope you enjoyed the first video. This is the start of the second video, which will be coming out later this week. So I thought I'd just answer a few questions that I get commonly asked by people who've never had an EV. And the most common question is, what's it like to drive? Now, this is now my third electric car, fully electric car at that, and all I can say is very impressed. Very simple, easy cars to drive, very smooth, there's no gears involved. The functionality on them is fantastic as well. So basically, it's a push button start. Think of it like, I don't know, like a kid's radio controlled car, where on the RC car, the tighter you squeeze the trigger, the faster the car goes. Exactly the same concept on an electric car. There's no gears involved. The further you push the pedal down, the faster the car goes. There's no changing of gear or anything. So it's a very, very smooth transition. There's no stop start like you do on an automatic car, as it works its way through the gears as well. And also, the actual power is instantaneous. That's the first thing you need to get used to. Whereas with an ICE car, there's always a lag from you pushing your foot down on the pedal and then the car starting to move. What you need to realise is, as soon as you touch the acceleration pedal on an EV, the power is immediately sent to the wheels, as the motors are sat on the axles. So that means that as soon as you start to push down, you go forward. At first it can be a bit unnerving, because if you've been driving normal ICE cars for most of your life, like most of us have, then you're used to pushing down and then a slow, gradual build up of speed. Whereas with an electric car, it's pretty much an instantaneous power to the wheels, and you definitely feel how rapid it is. So yeah, that's the first thing that you'll notice, is the instantaneous power. But actually driving it is just so easy and effortless. No gears, obviously, a bit like an automatic, and it's just one pedal really. And this is something else that you will hear a lot about when you're researching electric cars, is one pedal driving. Now, what that relates to is, with most electric vehicles, they have what's called regenerative braking. So what that means is, as soon as you take your foot off the accelerator, the car will start to slow down, and what that does is it uses that momentum and that power to feed back into the battery and prolong your charge. So basically it's like self-charging. So what is really nice on this Hyundai Ioniq is the way that you can adjust the regenerative braking while you're moving. What you have is two paddles on the back of the steering wheel, a bit like a racing car, and on some of the normal ICE cars they'll use these for gear changing, but on here it's for the regenerative braking. And on the Ioniq you have 3 levels, so the higher you go up the levels, the more powerful the braking is when you take your foot off the pedal. So what that means is that you can pretty much take your foot off the pedal and come to a standstill fairly quickly, and never have to touch your brake pedal. So this is why they call it one pedal driving. You get used to it, and you can time your slow down for the junctions and whatever you need, and not need to keep pressing the brake. You can also adjust if you're, if you don't want to slow down so rapidly. If you want to just cruise a bit, then you can lessen the amount of regenerative braking just by using a paddle to remove it down a level. But that's really good, especially if you're on hills and that, coming down hills. Stick it on the highest level, take your foot off, and just let the car charge the battery, and this just lengthens your distance you're going to get out of the car on the charge. And especially if you're in a town where you're stopping and starting a lot, this can make a massive difference to the real world miles you get out of your driving. Obviously, if you're doing motorway miles, this regenerative braking really doesn't come into effect a great deal. But for around town, stopping and starting, it can add quite a lot to your charge. So yeah, back to what it's like to drive. Very smooth, very comfortable. The Ioniq is full of nice features. This is the premium model. It's not the very top of the range. There's a premium SE. So this one comes with the material interior, not leather. But what it does come with, it comes with a charging tray for your phone. It has heated seats for both front seats and a heated steering wheel. Another good thing that it comes with is the adaptive cruise control. Now I'll do a section on this later on in the video where I'll take it down onto the motorway and use the adaptive cruise control and show you how that works. Also, what you get is the lane assist, which is great as well. It lets you know when you're straying across the line, and it will adjust your steering as well to help bring you back in line. It's a bit weird to start with because it feels like someone else is driving the car, but it's a great safety feature. Yeah, so like I say, it's got some nice features. Another good feature is that you can turn the rear view camera on while you're driving, so you can use it instead of the rear view mirror or along with the rear view mirror. And you can turn it on whenever you are, just to double check if there's anything behind you. Now, the actual infotainment, I'll go into that in a little bit more detail later on in the video, and I'll show you it. Now, I did a full charge on the weekend and took the car up to 100%. And on 100%, it showed me having a range of 180 miles. Now, we're down to 71% battery at the moment, and it's showing me with a range left of 124 miles. So this will be interesting to see when we get down to about 5% how many miles we actually got compared to what it told me at the beginning of the 180, to see how close we get to it. Because the last car I had, the DS3 Crossback, was notorious for suddenly it will say you've got 150 miles and then 5 minutes later you've got 110 miles and you've only traveled 10 miles. So you could never rely on it to let you know really how much charge and distance you've got left. So I'll keep you updated throughout the video on the range and how it compares. So from 100% to 71%, I've done 44 miles, and it's showing me with 124 miles left. So that's 168 miles compared to the 180 that it showed me at the beginning. So it's a 12-mile difference so far, and we will we'll see how that goes. As I said in the previous video, I appreciate all your comments And if there's something that you would like me to focus on in one of my videos, please leave a comment below. Also, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button and also the notification bell, and this will allow you to be alerted when I update my videos. I hope you're having a great week, and I will catch up with you later.